Hi guys, in today's review we'll be looking at a Bachmann locomotive, but this is a pre-grouping Bachmann locomotive and it is the Great Central Railway Class 11F or Lner D11. This is a 440 locomotive and this one's in a BR black version. Early emblem on the tender. I've had this a few years. If I'm honest with you, I paid £80. I think it's from Rails of Sheffield. That's how much I paid for it, brand new. And let's get into it and see if it's worth the money, shall we? Starting off at the detail bag, you get 3 different detail bags here. One is just some screws. The other one is a bit more advanced detailing, like doors for the cab or stop the crew falling out. Some chain links, some hooks and some other stuff. It's all in black, it's a bit hard to see. Then we have one which has the brake rigging in. Also has something for housings for the speaker, some fireman tools and some other stuff in there. So you do get quite a bit. Pity it's all painted in black. Onto the front of the locomotive. The locomotive does have a small tension lock coupling. It's always great when that's been added. We do have metal sprung buffers. And they are oval, like the Great Central. It's quite nice. We also have a vacuum pipe added as well. There's also a few bits of holes in there for the detail, like the hooks and stuff. They're there anyway. The buffer beam and the housing is in red. As we move up, we do have 3 lamp irons. We also have a spec box start, a handrail, the number of the locomotive, which I believe is 62663, if I've got that correct. My eyesight's not very great. We also have a shed code there, which I believe is in the Sheffield area, and it's 41A. It's either Dunhun, Sheffield, I think I pronounced that wrong, or Tidley. They're the two I think it possibly could be. And we also have a lamp iron at the top, and then we have a chimney as well. As we move on to the side of the locomotive, both sides of the locomotive are exactly the same with a few differences, if that makes sense. Near the front of the locomotive, we do have some rivets on the running board, which I believe is die-cast. If I've got that correct, it is die-cast. Near the front of the locomotive, we also have a builder's plate, which is legible when you get really close up and investigate. We do have a wheel configuration, which is a 440. Moving along, we have some splashes. There's one big splasher with a silver lining. We do have a nameplate in that, which is printed on, sadly, and it is Prince Albert. Moving up, we do have some washout plugs there as well. Towards the cab, we have a step. We also have a step between the 2 lots of wheels, is the way to put it. But the cab area itself, we do have crisply printed number of the locomotive, which is 62663. And I think it's a route availability down the corner there as well. And we have glazing in the cab with the windows at the top, sort of half moon style with a wood insert by the looks of it from the outside here. As we move around to the other side of the locomotive, we do have a lubrication point just above the steps in the centre. That is there. No, the handle on it is not painted separately, it's just all one painting, it's all black. That is there. We also have the builder's plate as well in the same place. Moving in a little bit, which sounds odd, I know, we do have motion inside, not painted as far as I can see, but it's there, it is nice, and there is an air gap between the boiler and the chassis, which I think is correct for the locomotive. We do have a metal reverser or plastic reverser with a box sticking out at the front near the cab. That is there, it is nice, it's a nice touch. As you can tell, the livery is in the plain early BR livery, just black. Early BR, but it doesn't look too bad. That is there, and we have a handrail going around the front and of the boiler and the other side as well, and then we have a pipe too. As we move on to the part that I think everybody enjoys in a review, and that is the cab area itself. We will start on the front of the tender for a change. The front of the tender does have a few fireman tools and stuff for the water and all the rest of that. It is there. We also have a holder for its tools like its shovel and rake. They are all there, they are black, but it's there. I believe there's a coal chute as well. Also on the tender, we do have the foot plate guard between the loco and tender, which is metal. Look, mine's a little loose, but not too bad. Moving on to the cab itself. As you can tell, we have glazing in all the windows, and I believe they are flush. We also have the cab roof in cream. Everything in there, I believe, is painted. I'm unsure if the dials have any numbers on or anything like that, but it is there. I believe the water has water in it, if you know what I mean. That's all there. The piping is copper and all the rest it's meant to be. It is nice. We do have wood flooring in there as well. And we also have, which I think is 2 seats, but I could be wrong. They are there. Bachmann have took a lot of care on their cab detail. As we move on to the side of the tender, both sides to me are exactly the same. There might be some differences that I've not noticed. The tender is in black like the locomotive. We do have a crisply applied early BR emblem there. It is wonderfully crisply applied as well. This is a great central tender, I believe. We also have some axle boxes and support beams and all that down the bottom, which, like most manufacturers, is moulded, but it is there. And we also have metal wheels by the looks of it as well, and a few steps either side and then some handles for the crew. Onto the back of the tender now. We do have metal sprung buffers. These ones are round and not ovalish like the front ones. We do have a small tension lock coupling as well. Also, it looks like we do have some irons to knock stuff off the tracks if it's in the way of the wheels. I think they are there as well. We do have the buffer beam in red with the housing in red as well. We have a vacuum pipe. We also have 3 lamp irons as we work our way up. We have handrails either side of the tender. We also have one in the centre. We also have a lamp iron at the top, and with the delivery of this is black. As we do a bird's eye view on top of the tender, in the corner of the tender, you can see some moulded chain stuff there. That is there, but it's moulded. We also have a water filler cap in the centre, which looks more like an oval. Next to that, we do have some toolboxes of some description by the looks of it, or something like that. Anyway, moving across a little bit more, we come to the coal load. The coal load is shiny because it's made out of die-cast metal. It is removable if you wanted to remove it at your own, but it's there. It's made out of die-cast metal to help the weight of the tender, otherwise it'd be too light. And then we also see some fireman stuff near the cab area, and boxes and stuff to help the tender and water. That is there. I don't know what they are. I do apologise. As we do an aerial view of the locomotive, the cab itself, roof, does have lots of rivets on there, and also a flap to help the crew, I believe, with the heat and stuff like that. That is nice, also in black. We also have a plastic whistle and metal safety valves. They do look nice, if I'm honest with you. They don't look too plastic, the whistle anyway. Moving across, I do believe we have a separately plied dome, and I think it's a superheater of some description near the chimney, a little circle thing. The chimney itself, you can't put a smoke unit in, it's blocked off. That's how it is. You can also see the lines where the lining would be on the boiler. That's there. Failing that, it's just a simple black locomotive. As we do an underside view of the locomotive this time round, we do have metal axles on the front bogie. We also see the coupling as well, which looks like an M1, more tension lock one. We do have pickups on the 4 big driving wheels, which, yeah, needs it. But there's no sign of traction ties or anything like that. We also have the brake rigging holes, which are already there. There's a few screws to remove the base plate, which I think is hardwired. I'm unsure, I might be wrong, but I think it's hardwired. There's also some more details on there, like the sanding gear and all the rest of it. They are there. As we move on to the locomotive and tender connection, it is the basic Bachmann one they've had for years at this point in time, which is basically a metal strip with a hole in, and you put a bit of plastic through it from the tender. That's all it is. But we do have a plug and wires going from loco to tender, which is nice. Looking at it, we do have copper strips on the tender to help with pickups. That is great. That's fantastic. I like that idea. We also have holes in there for the brake rigging as well. We have a scoop as well, which is always nice to see. We do have metal wheels, and we also have a small tension lock coupling at the end. So yeah guys, that's it on the tracks. Next up will be just the standard points test. As you can see, it's on second radius, that's how I'll be running it. So next up is the standard points test. Let's see how this Bachmann locomotive gets on, shall we? A little fast, but still it's 30. And this is analog as well, a little fast though, but it's okay. So yeah, managed that points test pretty okay, a little fast for my liking, but it's okay anyway. And next it will be some slow speed, and I'll find a train, and I'll see you at the end. Not bad. 30, not bad. Struggling a little bit now. But you can do really slow speed, just I'm not really good at it. So yeah guys, that's the end of the running session. I just want to point something out. This locomotive does struggle on second radius. I don't know if it's my track or what, but it struggles on it. Hopefully now there should be a footage of the Hornby D16, which is basically the same locomotive but designed by a different company. And this had no issues going around my second radius on any speed at all whatsoever. As you can see, that the Bachmann one's stuck in the side here. I can't really work it out, but then Bachmann do have that issue of Loco's not doing second radius. I just want to put it out. I did notice when I was recording it was slowing down on certain bends on my layout, which is unusual for a small locomotive. I don't even think the DAPL locomotive did it, the D-class. But yeah, so that's the footage of hopefully the Hornby D16. Like I said, the D16 is a 440, but just designed by Hornby and a lot lighter as well. So yeah, what it ran with was basically some Lner teaks. So we had the Gresleys, and then at the back there in the shade we have the Thompson Hornby style one. My opinion on this locomotive now, I like it, I do like it. It's highly detailed, the cab is fantastic. It runs okay for a Bachmann locomotive. I know that sounds odd, but it does in my opinion. It can do second radius, just. Would I recommend it? Probably to the same sort of people that collect Lner stuff, whatever era, like up to era 5, even to preserve one. The Great Central livery, even the Lner livery that they do for this locomotive is fantastic. Sadly I don't have one, I'd love one, but I don't have one. The only gripe with it, apart from not doing second radius really, would be the connection between Loco and Tendo, which you probably guessed by now, I'm not too keen on it. But failing that, fantastic. It's got die cast in, it runs okay on third radius, second radius not so much. Like I said, I think I paid about £80. I checked the internet and they're going for like £150. I don't know what's going on. I bought mine up 6 years ago. So I don't know what's going on with that big price increase. So anyway, sorry about the rant. I hope you enjoyed the video and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.